wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a gold builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black too.
Hey, everybody. What's happening? It's your girl, Constance Carter. And I'm live. I'm live and direct. And as you come in, I see people coming on in. I want you to, oh, shoot, I don't even got all my lights on. I want you to, I want to make sure that you subscribe to the Fly Nubian Queen. I want to make sure that you are subscribing to I Am Constance Carter on Instagram and on Facebook. Subscribe to CC the CEO on YouTube. So as you come in, welcome. You are welcome here. I appreciate you coming in and taking the time and listening and talking to me. This is always, every time I come on here, I do not like to just be talking to you. I like to have a dialogue and not a monologue. I ain't here just to talk to you. I want you to talk back to me, okay? So as you come in and get yourself comfortable, put in the comments where you're watching from, because I know that we always have people that are watching from all over the world. And it's extremely important for me to know who I'm talking to. I don't like to just be talking to myself. And I see a lot of you guys on here. I see hundreds of people. You guys are obviously very interested in this topic. So put in the comments box where you're watching from. I know we have people. We're on like 9 different platforms right now between Facebook and YouTube. And you know what? I should have got on Instagram too, but I didn't get on Instagram. But what's up, Jermaine from Maryland? What's happening, Jermaine from Maryland? I'm in Maryland too right now. I see La Regina from Brooklyn. Let's see, Corius from Thomaston, Georgia. All right. You guys come on in and make sure you put your where you're from in the comments, because I want to shout you out. But I wanted to have a conversation because I'm tired. What's up, Carmia from Las Vegas? What's happening, girl? Shout out to Carmia from Las Vegas. I'm so tired. I am extremely tired. This is the year of exposure. What's up, Key Lime from Daytona Beach? Cat Williamson came out and started talking about everybody. And so this is the year that people, I think, are getting tired of keeping secrets. People are tired of watching people scam people. People are tired of people making false representations. What's up, Flossie from California? What's happening, Flossie? And I'm tired as well. Now, this is not going to be something super salacious, but I just, I've been in I've been in the game since 2015. So at least about the last 9 years, I've been teaching financial literacy or financial education, just teaching people. No. It's been about 20 years. What am I talking about? It's 20 years. I started back when I started in real estate, and then I started teaching people about home ownership, and then it expanded into other wealth building strategies. So I've been doing this for 21 years now. And so it's always been in my heart. What's up, Carlos from Charlotte, AKA Nairobi. Okay. And I don't know who that is in the group. But I'm sick and tired of seeing all these people, I think when COVID hit, there became a huge influx of these gurus, these get rich quick gurus. And it was kind of easy to get online and pivot and do something different, because everybody was looking for a savior. Did you guys notice that? In 2020, everybody was looking for a hustle. People were looking for a savior. People were actually investing their money more than they had in the past, which is good. Which is also why you see an influx and a growth, especially in the Black community, of a lot of Black wealth, because Black people started investing in themselves. Black people started businesses, which is really great. But it also birthed a whole new breed of scam artists disguised as financial literacy gurus. And I seen them. You seen them. And the funny thing is, like I said, I've been doing this for 20 years now, just educating the people, out here in the field, like arm to arm, teaching people. I liken myself to Harriet Tubman, feeling like, I could have saved 1,000 more of y'all if y'all just knew y'all was slaves. But just saving people from the perils of financial despair or financial slavery. And so just being out here in the streets and doing it and seeing all these people. And it's like, people are fascinated by, the fast cars and the private jets and the big houses. And so it's kind of like the mega church syndrome.
where you have, you're selling hope to these people. This is what they did. They sold hope to these people, and these people in turn bought their products. They in turn, gave their money, start investing just like they do at churches, right? And now the only person that's profiting is the person that's selling the hope. The only person that's profiting is the pastor. He's the one that's flying in the private jets. He's the one with the Maybachs and the Bentleys, and the church, the people are starving. It's the same thing with these quote unquote financial gurus. And I'm sick of seeing my people get bamboozled because of these people. I know one person said that when they showed themselves on a private jet, it just their thing exploded because people want that. Who doesn't want to fly in a private jet? I do. Who doesn't want a beautiful home? Who doesn't want a Lamborghini? Who doesn't want all of these material things? That's part of human nature, right? Most of us do. Most Americans do. We aspire for this. And so then what will happen is they will sell us a dream. They will sell us scams. And let me tell you, there are so many scams that are out there that people have gotten caught up. Now, I know that you guys have heard about the Navy Credit Union thing that happened a couple of months ago, where Navy Credit Union was being exposed for not giving African Americans the same type of loans. But you got to understand this. There was a lot of scamming going on in Navy Credit Union. And I, for one, am one of the people who, against popular belief, I believed it was because of the gurus. I don't know if you ever heard the gurus tell you about the Navy Credit Union play. But the Navy Credit Union play got a whole lot of Black people at Navy Credit Union. First, they lied to say that, their grandpa or their uncle was a veteran in order to get in there. And then Navy Credit Union had a lot of lax guidelines. They did. They had a lot of lax guidelines. And what ended up happening was people ended up defaulting on their loans. Now, I want to say back in 2013, before I even heard this Navy Credit Union play, I didn't even know it was a play. I actually did it. I'm gonna keep it real. When I heard it recently, or when I heard it before, I was like, I did that like back in 2013. I didn't know. So let me just tell you what happened. I'm gonna go ahead and be real, keep it transparent. A girlfriend of mine, she said, hey, I got someone at Navy Credit Union. This is when I first became a member of Navy Credit Union. So I've been a member for 11 years now. She said, I have somebody at Navy Credit Union who can get you a personal loan. 2012. This was a couple of years right outside of bankruptcy. I couldn't get credit to save my life. Would nobody give me credit? And she said, I have somebody who can give you a personal loan, but this is how you got to do it. So it was the play. So basically what they did is they tell you they would approve you for a car loan or something like that. And then if you didn't pay the car loan, then it would convert to a personal loan. And the car loan, which was 6%, would convert to a 13% loan with a 13% interest rate. So I got, a few $1,000s. I got a few $1,000s, and it helped me like do some stuff around the house. I ended up being able to make some improvements in my house, paid it off, and that was that. There's people are teaching this play online. But if you look at it, the approach, just like the approach when I did it, I went into it thinking that I was getting a personal loan. And then when I got in there, they told me, oh, this is what you have to do. Now, I didn't know that I was, because you're going in saying you're committing fraud. You're going in and you're saying that I'm going to get this type of loan, knowing that you have no car, knowing that you're not going to do anything like that. And then you end up getting something else. Here's what happened with Navy Credit Union. And let me tell you why I know. I know because I have seen so many credit reports as a mortgage broker. I've seen so many credit reports with Navy Credit Union loans in default, people not paying for these loans. So when they talk about Navy Credit Union ain't giving Black people loans, and I got a couple of Navy Credit Union loans right now. Actually, I have a few Navy Credit Union accounts, and I got one of my cars. My Range Rover is a Navy Credit Union car loan. So I'm still using the bank, and I still have great credit and all that stuff. But people were getting into Navy Credit Union, and they were not paying it back. And what they did is they started tightening their guidelines. And so what worked before, when people were telling you, get in, get this $50,000 loan, because they're giving these personal loans, they're giving these big fat credit cards, they were getting in and they were defaulting on these loans. These what the gurus were telling you to do so that you could get rich. So you could take the money and you could put the money over here, you could put the money over there. Then I would see these people talk about, okay, so you get an LLC and then you get the LLC funded and then you get the money, but then you pay off your bills, but then you do. That's not the intent. That's not what you're supposed to do with that money. Now, there are ways that you can use leverage in order to build your wealth so that you can make more money. I'm all for that, but I'm not for scamming in order to do it. And that's what a lot of these quote unquote gurus are trying to teach you to do. They're trying to teach you to shortcut. Now, the shortcut way, y'all, is the way that you is the short way, is a short-term way. The shortcut is a short-term way to get money real quick, but also lose it really quick. It's so important that you know the foundational steps about building wealth. And that's what people don't want to know. People don't want to know the foundations. Everybody want to know how to get from A to Z real quick, but you don't want to know the steps from A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It reminds me of a lady named Sophia Russo. If you look her up, she built the clothing company Nasty Gal. It's nothing has to do with scamming, but I'm just talking about building your foundation. I spoke at Facebook a few years ago, and she spoke at Facebook also. And one of the things she said was that her company had, and you can look her up. She's Wikipedia, and I think they even did a Lifetime movie about her. But her business grew so quickly, $50 million or $500 million, something crazy. And then she ended up filing bankruptcy. Why? Because she had no solid foundation. Because she didn't build her business brick by brick. It wasn't done in a scammy type of way. But my point to you is that when you're trying to build sustainable wealth, it's not stuff that you're going to be doing really quick. It's not no get rich quick type shit that you're seeing out there. And so I want you to stop giving these gurus your money to teach you a scam way to do things that are not going to sustain. A lot of these people that say that they're millionaires, they're not. Let me tell you something. I had 3 marketing people that I fired because everybody wanted me to do the same thing. Now, let me just, if you don't know who I am, let me give you some receipts really quick, okay? I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, okay? Catalyst Real Estate Professionals, brick by brick. I am an investor owner in a marijuana dispensary. I have commercial and residential real estate. I rent to Airbnbs. I rent regular residential to residential tenants. I have best-selling books. So I have receipts. So I've done some things, but it wasn't overnight. I didn't just, go from here to here. And I'm so glad that I didn't. And I'm so glad that even as I was building my business, it was growing sometimes a little bit slower than I wanted to. And then when I started using, credit as leverage to build my business, it went a lot faster because I use OPM, and I use OPM the right way to build my businesses. But you have to use it the right way. So I'm just telling you, I do have the receipts for myself. But when you look at what the people, let me go back, the people I had to fire, some marketing people who I hired, to do some social media. They wanted me to rent Bentleys. They wanted me to show myself in first class. They wanted me to, they wanted me to showcase my house. They wanted me to do all of these things so I could impress you. And I said, but why? I don't want to. Yeah, I do some of these things, but I don't want to have to showcase that in order to impress anybody. And they said, well, I said, I'm a regular chick from San Jose. They said, well, why would anybody listen to a regular chick? Because I got receipts, because I've made some great investments. I've won some, I made some good money. I've lost some good money. I've learned some good lessons, but I've created sustainable wealth to create a legacy for my children and my children's children. And so what I want to just impart on you in terms of, this hope that people are selling, I want you to be really clear on, what you're investing your money in. Look at investing in yourself. So I have training, I have courses, I have all of those things as well. So don't get it twisted. I believe education is key. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in myself. I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in personal development and coaching for myself. So I believe that you absolutely should be investing in yourself. But make sure that when you are investing in these things, that you're properly vetting what you're investing in. Is what they are telling you correct? Is it legal? Because what you don't want is the IRS, the I, the R, and the S, and in them to come cracking down on you. And all these people telling you this illegal stuff online. Don't you think that the big brother is listening? They telling you to do illegal shit online. It's documented and recorded, and it's all over the internet. These gurus are paying. I've been offered. Somebody said, "Hey, do you want to get on this one podcast, a really popular one, for $25,000?" And I said, "Hell no, I'm not about to be paying $25,000 to get on nobody's podcast. Fuck, I look like." I didn't know that's what everybody was doing. So then it lends to the credibility of that person, because they're paying. They taking their credit cards, that they taking their Navy Federal Credit Union money that they didn't got this credit with, and they're paying to be on this podcast. Now they have this credibility. So now that they have this credibility and they have all this exposure, now you're buying their products. So now they're going to be able to get this influx of money in, and they're going to be able to pay off that credit card. You understand what I'm saying? It's beneficial to them, but not to you. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine. She said, "Girl, listen, one of my girlfriends was at my house, and she created this program around investing. She doesn't invest. She was a lightweight influencer, but she doesn't invest. So she created a program around investing. And then she was on one of these large podcasts and blew up, made millions of dollars. Well, she had to give a percentage of her earnings to the podcast, but these podcasts give the credibility, and therefore you, the consumer, are buying. And what are you getting out of it? 9 times out of 10. Not a whole lot of nothing. So just be very mindful of what you see out there with these podcasts and with these gurus that are selling you a dream. Make sure that it has some substance. Make sure that it's foundational things that you could tell your mama, or you could tell, you could say it in front of a government official. You don't want to have anything that's going to get you in trouble. And when I tell you that there's so much stuff out there that will get you in trouble, just be very careful. Now, Black people, it's so important that we practice collective economics. It's so important that we start, being self-sufficient and independent. It's so important that we're teaching ourselves. And that's the reason why I do this, is because, there's that Forbes article that says that by the year 2053, that median Black wealth is going to be a 0 by 2053. But I believe with the power of the internet, it's not going to happen. And the great thing is that in 2020, Black people we outpaced everyone else when it came to increasing our wealth. Even though 400 years that we've been there's been all these inequities and all these things thrown in our place, and we haven't been able to get great lending. We've been getting predatory loans, and we weren't able to build wealth with FHA loans, and the federal government conspired against us to keep us out of the wealth building process. Still in 2020, our group increased more than any other group. So I want to give us kudos for that. But we're still, as of today, we're still on track for our net worth to be a 0. So it's imperative that the biggest investment that you can make in yourself is you. I did a TED Talk a couple of years ago. It's called Google That Shit. So if you haven't seen my TED Talk, go look at my TED Talk. It's called Google That Shit. And I talk about different things that we can do to close the wealth gap. There are so many investment opportunities. I have a community called the Grow Your Money Club, where I'm helping not just Black people. I'm helping people from all over the country really build their net worth. My trainings, and I've sold many of them, they were hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars for my training. And this year I decided, I want to make them low so that as many people could get access to them as possible. Now, I still got to get paid. I mean, I'm not selling anything my time is worth something. But I've made it so low that I'm not really making the amount of money that I normally made on them, because I want to just give the opportunity to many more people. So it's only $47. I have trainings that I'm putting in every month, trainings about how to start your business, how to increase your credit, how to write a book, how to build your brand, how to start a podcast, how to increase your credit score after bankruptcy. I have training after training after training after training, and you get access to all of my training for $47. Again, it's imperative that you are willing to invest in yourself, because if you don't invest in yourself, you are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. And if you're not willing to do that for yourself, then how are you ever able to get ahead? I'm not trying to charge you college prices.
to show you what I've showed you. And that's the thing about my community, is that I'm trying to show you everything that I know. Again, I gave you my receipts earlier. I built a company, a multi-million-dollar company. I have best-selling books. Check my receipts. Google me if you don't know who I am. So I did this so that I could help as many people as possible. I ain't trying to make you go broke. Give your last. You know how you go to church, they tell you to give your last or give your first fruits. Give your everything to me, so that and then it goes to the pastor, and then you leave empty and you still hungry and you ain't got no money to pay your rent because you gave everything to the guru. You gave everything to the church, when you need to be investing inside yourself. And of course, all this information is online. You could Google it. You can get the power of the internet. Google University is wonderful. So if you don't get it from my community, and of course, my community comes with VIP access, Q&As, master classes, a whole community. So that's what you get when you're investing in the Grow Your Money Club. But you could get this information on YouTube. I can't vouch and tell you how reliable any of the information out there is on YouTube or on Google, but the information is out there. So here's what I want you to do. Instead of paying all this money for these gurus, even me, if you don't want to invest in anything that I'm doing, I want you to take that time in the morning, because I know the first thing a lot of us do when we wake up in the morning is we start scrolling on the internet. I want you, before you go to bed, I want you to think of 5 things that you want to learn the next day. 5 things that you want to learn the next day. And then when you pick up that phone, because when you roll it over, you're going to pick up that phone, you're going to see them alerts, you're going to start scrolling. Before you get on Instagram, before you get on Facebook, before you get on TikTok or YouTube, I want you to get on Google, and I want you to start researching something that you want to learn. If you've never read the book Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, I love that book. It's one of my favorite books, but he talks about it takes 10,000 hours to reach perfection. He used different examples like the Beatles. The Beatles practiced for 10,000 hours. Bill Gates, he practiced coding for 10,000 hours. That's how he became an expert at it. All the time that we are scrolling on the internet, this is productivity time that we are losing. Every time that we are just looking at mindless shit on the internet, we looking at the shade room, we looking at the gossip, neighborhood talk, and all those other things that aren't edifying or benefiting us. If you're not going to invest in anything that I have, invest the time into Googling something and learning something new that's going to be fruitful to you. Now, if you are interested in joining the Grow Your Money Club, go to Dennis Sprague. Says he's a writer. Well, you know, I got a How to Write Your Book, your best-selling book that's coming out this month. But growyourmoney.club, you can go into my growyourmoney.club community. You can sign up and you can start getting access to the trainings. You get cancel at any time, $47 per month, and you get access to all of my trainings, all of Constance Carter. So I just want to make sure that you're just investing, you're taking the time and investing in yourself, because 2024, it needs to be a year of renewal. It needs to be a year of transformation. And I think it's a year of exposure. I think a lot of these people that have taken people are getting tired of it. People are exposing it. Again, I didn't come on here to be salacious or to talk about anybody personally, but I am sick of seeing these scammers, because I recognize them from a mile away. I seen exactly what they was doing when it was like, the play is, I'm gonna run this play and I'm gonna run this play. And I'm like, this is a scam. This is a scam. This is a scam. And they got all of that money because they were selling hope to our people. And because we have been so disenfranchised, we have been left out, we have been kept out. We just want it by any means necessary. And we tend to believe anybody who comes and has a good idea, or has a shiny car, or has some nice clothes, or they wearing Gucci or Versace, we gonna believe them. And it's unfortunate, because you're stuck and you're empty and you're losing a lot of money. And you're right there where you were before you gave the money. And so if you join my community and you feel like there's something there that you haven't gotten anything out of what I'm offering, I will give you your money back straight up, because my goal and my mission is to really help impact and change our lives. My mission and my goal is to close this wealth gap that is very real. Listen, I've been on this mission. When I was in high school, I was the president of the BSU, y'all, and my goal was to close the grade gap. In my school district, the average African American grade was a D minus, and I was gonna close the grade gap. Like, I have always been an advocate and an activist for Black folks. That's just my life's mission and my life's work and my passion, and my purpose. And so I'm happy to be walking in it, and I'm happy to be able to sit on the front row and watch people and see their lives changed. Also, I want to tell you, if you are a woman, if you are a Black woman, or you know a Black woman, we have the Net 7 Collective, and I am interviewing people this week. I have not interviewed anybody for the collective. I have a few for the cohort. I have a few spots open. This cohort is for women who want to increase their net worth by at least $1 million. I'm personally coaching you. I'm bringing people in to show you different ways to build your wealth. And I'm personally coaching, mentoring you, training you, and I am giving you the plan, the blueprint. So actually right now, the reason why I haven't done any interviews is because I've been doing strategy sessions with the ladies from the second cohort. But this is where I'm personally invested, because there's an African proverb that says, if you teach a man, you teach an individual. But when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. And so my contribution, one of my contributions to closing the wealth gap is really through Black women. And so let me just show you a quick, let me see, one of these testimonials.
It has been a privilege and an honor to be part of this cohort. Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses. We have strategically taken the time each week to come together to understand how to build a business, how to brand a business, how to use real estate, how to use life insurance. We have bonus days where there are speakers who come and they share their stories and their goals and their successes. We have an accountability coach that I have learned to realize that she really is like a best friend to me. It has been an amazing journey. I have grown so much. Now all my fears are now my strengths.
So that's my personal passion work that I've been doing since June of last year. And the goal is for me to help 100 Black women to increase their net worth to $1 million. And so I'm halfway through. So this is my third cohort. And just the results. The ladies have started their own businesses. They've started investing in real estate. They started investing in stock. They started growing their money. They started generating compounding interest. Some of them started podcasts. Some of them started life coaching. Some started motivational speaking. I mean, it's just been absolutely amazing. And so start getting ready to start the next one in February. And again, if you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, then this collective is for you. And you can go on the website, constancecarter.com/net7collective. Look at the testimonials. Ain't no scamming here. Ain't no scheming. This is really me investing in Black women, and it is my passion. Janice said, I was scammed by 19 Keys, and yes, I met him from his official page. He convinced me to invest in his businesses, and it was a scam. I was investing $500 a month for 3 months and straight, and I was promised $12,500. And I am so sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I have a bridge in DC to sell you. Tuesday said, it's hard to find something that clearly outlines the right steps in order to be successful. A lot of us don't want to get rich quick schemes, and I have been fooled a few times until I figured out. Thank you for saying that. And that's the thing. It's not. So okay. So that's what I do with the Net 7 Collective. So if you're a woman, if you're a Black woman, like I said, I expose you to every investment that I've made, even more so. So we're doing government contracts. We're doing, and I had Paula on here last week who has a whole cohort and teaches government contracts. We teach stock, we teach real estate, we teach land banks, we teach tax deeds, we teach how to create communities, how to create your courses, how to be a speaker. Like all of these things are inside the Net 7 Collective. And then at the end, Now, this is where a good amount of the value is. I do one-on-one strategy sessions with the ladies, and these are a minimum of 3 hours. And so that's why they're so intensive. I do a minimum until we sit down and we go through everything that they learn. They have to do a strengths assessment. They read a book. There's a lot that goes into it. They get my wealth accelerator. And so there's work that they have to do before they get in. And then after, we'll do the strategy session. And then when they walk away, they have a tangible book or an outline or a step-by-step guide that says, okay, based upon your strengths, based upon what it is that you want to do, based upon your strengths, based upon your goals, based upon your passion, your purpose, here's the step-by-step blueprint of how to get there. So I give them a mind map or a wealth map, and I give them the step-by-step blueprint. So it's not a get rich quick scheme. It's a process, but you're building on a solid foundation. Because here's the thing. It is easier for a person who's made $1 million and lost $1 million than somebody who came into $1 million to get it and lose it and make it again. They don't know how. So when I talk about wealth building, it's not just about getting the bag. It's a holistic experience. It's the habits that you create every day. It's what you do in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. It's how you plan. It's how you prime your mind. It's all of those things. All of that is inside the cohort. It's the steps to get there. It's to go this way. And I've made enough mistakes. I made enough personal mistakes to say, I lost $100,000 there. Let's go over here. Because I've lost big, but I've won even bigger. I've invested thousands and lost thousands, and I've invested thousands and made millions. And so I can tell you, here's the pitfalls. And so, of course, every investment is a risk, but I'm going to show you how to make calculated risks, not to make the same mistakes that I made. And so that's what the Net 7 Collective is about. The Grow Your Money Club is the trainings that everyone has access to. It's a club that you can get as much information and things that you want to learn about. If I don't know it, I'll have somebody come in and do a training on it. But every month we drop a new training. So if you can't be in the Net 7 Collective, then you may be able to be in the Grow Your Money Club, which will be able to give you that information that you need as well. All right. Stephanie said, does my son still teach stock? He does, and I've been telling him to get back on it. I told him to get his butt back in gear. Listen, my son did really good. So for you guys that don't know, and I got to go pick up my daughter from the airport. She just called and she landed, and the airport's 40 minutes away, y'all. So, but real quick, my son, when he was, let me just tell you this real quick. I want to get this straight. Dr. Boyce Watkins is the real deal, real talk. So I know I hear a lot of negative things about him online. I know him personally. Dr. Boyce Watkins is the real deal. So when people talk about scammers and all that stuff, I know that he tries to align with people, and he's tried to help a lot of people out in the past. I've seen it up close and personal. And sometimes you just may align with some of the wrong people, and your name will get caught up in some BS. Now he has some very polarizing opinions. He does. Dr. Boyce got some polarizing opinions. You might agree with him, you might not, you might love him, you might hate him, but I can say that he's a good dude, like for real in real life. And so he's definitely not a scammer. He's definitely out there to help the people. So I've seen it myself up close and personal. So I just want to say that. But when my son was 12, I bought him the Dr. Boyce Watkins stock training program. I bought it for all my kids. And then I told all of them, whoever finishes, I will invest $1,000 I give you $1,000 so you can invest in stock. My son, Duders, he was the only one who did it. He took the $1,000, he made $8,000. Took him about 2 years. And then in 2020, he took my $7,000 stock portfolio and he made $40,000 in 3 months. So then he had a group where he was teaching stock. He was giving stock tips. It's called Stock Tips with Warren. And so we had like 200 people in the group that were paying him. So he was getting paid in stock and he was getting paid to teach. Then the little Negro started liking girls. And that just kind of went out the window. You know how that go when you got teenagers. They get distracted. So that's kind of what happened with that. So he hasn't been, but we've talked about it. We've been talking about it recently. He's in college. This is his second year at Hampton University. And so he's doing his thing. But I've been telling him to get back on it because that's definitely a way, and he's going to be He's going to do so well in whatever he does. Right now, I'm actually creating a business for him, for my kids. So I worked hard my whole life. You know, if you guys have followed me for a while, you know, my motto used to be nobody works harder than Constance Carter. And so I worked so hard. I don't want to work hard no more. But I am creating a business, a multi-million-dollar business for my children right now. I'm doing the work right now, and then I'm going to relinquish it to my kids. But that's what it's about. And this is a whole nother business in a whole nother area, but it's going to do well. But when we talk about legacy, I'm talking about legacy building, like real legacy, not no get rich quick shit. But this is the same stuff I want to teach you. I want to teach you to be able to do the same thing. Now, I do realize everybody can't be a business owner, but why don't you have another revenue stream? Ecclesiastes 11:2 said, what, have 7. Then it said no 8 revenue streams, because you never know when a disaster is going to strike. We cannot be fooled to think that a disaster can't strike again, because in 2020, who knew that COVID was going to hit like it hit? So had that impacted me or paralyzed me, I definitely wouldn't be in the East Coast. I definitely wouldn't be where I am today. But thank God I had the foresight in order to live my life in that way. I want to teach Black people to do the same. I do. So I appreciate you, Ms. Linda Hillman. I love you too. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for saying that it helps keep you focused. It's time to get this money, you guys. Let's get this money. Join the Grow Your Money Club. I know that you will benefit. And again, if there's something that you want to see on there that you want me to teach, just let me know. And if I can't teach it, if it's something that I don't know, I got friends, y'all. You don't. If you hear the Net 7 Collective, they like, damn, I got friends. I put in work so that you can have the work. So I have friends that'll come in and teach the training for me. So my daughter said, "Why mom ain't answering the phone? I gotta get out of here." I get distracted too. Thank you guys. Love you. Let me go pick up this girl from the airport.